Hey everybody, how's it going? It's me, Brandon, back again with another episode, and it is the first movie review for the 100 movie poster bucket list. And the movie is today one of my favorite movies of all time, Blade Runner. I love this movie, I really do. And I want to go ahead and really talk about this because this is a movie that I didn't honestly love when I first saw it a couple years ago. I did this movie, this is a little bit of a backstory here. I did this movie for a high school cinema class project. I did it with one of the other kids in my class, and I've always heard about this movie. I love Harrison Ford, I love sci-fi, I love all that stuff. So I really wanted to go ahead and finally check out this movie. It was one of the movies I was able to pick out of like 100 certain movies or whatever. Maybe even 100 great movies. I'm not really too sure how it was, but went ahead, bought this movie. I found it at a Five Below, the DVD copy, and I watched it, and I was so confused. And I have a feeling a lot of other people feel the same way as well watching Blade Runner. It's a very divisive movie. I think this is a movie where I believe it originally came out, and it did pretty much bomb. I don't think a lot of people watched it. It's become a cult classic, and Blade Runner totally deserves more recognition as a series, as a movie in general. But I think everybody that did watch it pretty much understands it over time. We'll go ahead and just dive into this gem. So the year is 2019, and there are a certain set of officers called Blade Runners that need to go out and have a specific task of retiring artificial humanoids, which are known as replicants. This movie stars Harrison Ford as Rick Deckard, an officer who has been off duty for a certain amount of time and then gets thrown back into it once there has been a group of rogue replicants running around 2019 Los Angeles. And no, not this 2019. We're talking about this 2019. Throughout the movie, you're asking yourself many questions. At the first viewing may honestly be really tough to watch. Like I said earlier, this movie I didn't honestly understand the first time I saw it, and it took me a couple times. But once you finally sit down and really kind of grasp the whole thing, it is one hell of a movie. Now, this is a movie that has many cuts throughout its years of being on the screen. The final cut is the definitive version of Blade Runner. So if you're going to go ahead and check this out, do not watch the theatrical cut. Go ahead and watch the final cut. It clears up a lot of questions, and it seems more straightforward upon watching. I mean, even the first viewing of this, you're probably going to be a little confused. The first time I saw this, it was the final cut. Then the second time, I pretty much started to understand everything that is going on in Blade Runner. But still, you discover stuff years later that you never really noticed in the first viewing. And it's just so awesome. Ridley Scott did an amazing job creating this wonderful world. This world has very much influenced many other forms of entertainment, such as some video games and some anime, such as Ghost in the Shell, and also video games like Mass Effect as well. This world feels alive, and when you see it, especially in 4K, you notice that there's a lot of crisp details. It almost feels like it is a real city, and it's awesome. This movie came out in the 80s, and just to see a distant future in 2019 from then on, it is weird that I'm reviewing this in 2019 now. I don't have my spinner. Where is my spinner? Maybe Elon Musk will give us a spinner soon. But Blade Runner, fantastic movie. The world, it pulses with this unique feel. There was a fantastic sequel that happened 2 years ago now, which was Blade Runner 2049, and that could even be better than this. I really don't know. Maybe that's a video for another day. I think this one and 2049 are totally unique, super special, and I think they're really important movies. There is no CGI really. I mean, the cities and all that other stuff are pretty much, that's how you're going to get the CGI, but a lot of it is practical. You see this one character, Sebastian, who does build his own toys and builds his own friends, and they're all real people, and it's pretty interesting to see. But Rick Deckard, back on point. Rick Deckard has to go and hunt down some replicants, and some of these are trying to find what is going on in this world, what is a replicant, how long do they live, stuff like that. It's a very interesting movie. I don't want to give too much away, even though the movie came out a long time ago, but I love it. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. And when I do get around to doing my top 10, top 25 movies, whatever list, maybe somewhere down the line, you will 100% be seeing Blade Runner, the final cut. I know I said I wanted to do a letter grade for this, but you know what? I'm not about it. Going through all these movies, I don't want to be like, oh, Titanic A, Jurassic Park A+, Blade Runner A+, because I have a feeling there's going to be a couple movies, obviously, that are going to be pretty meh in my opinion, but I don't want to be like, I think it deserves a C. So, would I recommend this movie? I think this is a movie everybody needs to see. I get that is a hard pill to swallow if you're not fully invested or not really caring about what is going on in this movie, but the soundtrack, the characters, Harrison Ford is amazing in this movie. It is a movie that is an acquired taste. Not everybody's gonna jump into this movie and love it, but I think you just need to watch it to really see the influence it's had on many video games, anime, some movies. If you look at Ghost in the Shell, that movie that came out a couple years ago, it is Blade Runner. That is Los Angeles 2019, and I will even say it's Los Angeles 2049 now. And it's inspired so much. Playing Mass Effect 1 and 2, The Citadel, seeing the spinners are basically a rip from Blade Runner put into that game, and various other forms of media. You just see the origins of what Ridley Scott created in this beautiful movie. And now is where we're going to go ahead and just scratch off the part of the poster, because now we have seen Blade Runner and we love Blade Runner, or at least I love Blade Runner. Please let me know in the comment section down below if you love Blade Runner. Maybe if you really enjoyed Blade Runner 2049 but you couldn't get into the first Blade Runner. Please let me know. I know it is a cult classic. It's a very interesting pill to swallow, but it has such an amazing influence on movies and other forms of media, and I think the story in its own right is just absolutely beautiful. So, thanks again. Thanks everybody for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. This is the first movie. It's probably butchered quite a bit, so thumbs up if you enjoyed it, thumbs down if you did not enjoy it, subscribe if you enjoyed it as well, and I will see you all next time.